everyone, welcome back to another episode of Under the Radar, Over the Moon. It's our December episode, so we have ugly Christmas sweaters on. Chris, want to talk about your sweater?
I'd love to talk about my sweater. It's a Game of Thrones inspired, Christmas infused, or Santa infused. It's a kind of a game of candy canes, I guess. You see it there. It's beautiful. I love it.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Ooh. I have a llama, because if it's Christmas, it must be time to have a llama sweater on who's got a scarf around his neck. What you got, Mandy Lou?
I have a crazy-eyed snowman. I don't know what he's doing, but he's having a good time.
He's cockeyed.
He's a little crazy.
All right, so in honor of to toast the holidays, we're going to have a little. Chris, you do it. You're the bartender.
Okay, sure. A little Italian table wine. What any family should be drinking on the eve of Christmas. Okay, let's go. It's kind of rude for me to serve myself, I guess, first, but...
That's okay. I'll take your bottle.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh my God, Mandy Lou, we're going to scrape her off the floor.
That's right, I was behind from the last one.
Oh my. So we're going to talk to you about some books that we're very excited about. I'll start this time just because I'm on a roll. Hello. The Hearts of Men by Nickolas Butler. I really love this book. I got sucked in from page one. This is by the author of the international bestseller, Shotgun Love Songs. It's a beautiful novel, and it starts out in 1962, and we meet Nelson Doty, who is this 13-year-old boy who is a Boy Scout, and he's the bugler. He's such a good soldier. He's such an idealistic. He's got a really rough father. He's got a very sweet mother, and you're drawn in from the very beginning of this story because you can tell that he's an outcast. He doesn't have any friends. You meet him, and he's waiting for people to show up at his birthday party. They don't show up except for one kid, and that's what sets this whole story in motion is the relationship between these two kids. But it pretty much centers on their life at this camp. It's set in Wisconsin. It's a Boy Scout camp. And it takes you through Nelson's life until he's an old man. And the relationship that he has with this friend of his, and lots of different things that happen along the way. I don't even want to get into the plot. Trust me when I tell you, this is an underdog who is an idealistic kid, and he just wants to do the right thing all the time. He's going to get into your heart, and you're not going to want to let him go. I just love this book so much. It's called Hearts of Men. It's by Nickolas Butler. I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed this book.
I will be talking about The Women in the Castle by Jessica Shattuck. This is the lead read pick for HarperCollins for winter 2017. Lead read is a program that began with The Nest by Cynthia D'Aprile-Sweeney. It was then followed up by a title you might have heard of, News of the World by Paulette Giles. And this continues the trend. And it's a really cool piece of historical fiction that takes place actually just in the aftermath of World War II, so very unique in that respect. And it follows three women, civilians in this case. One is a woman whose husband was a co-conspirator in an attempt to assassinate Adolf Hitler, did not succeed, was executed along with all the rest involved with the plot. And this woman devotes herself to finding the women and children of the fallen comrades from this failed attempt. So it's just trying experience. She discovers her best friend's wife as well as another woman, and they're all very uniquely portrayed, and they just have experienced their own unique horrors, but they also have their strengths and resiliency. But again, just incredibly vivid and human, and there's such bravery here in a lens that I don't think you'll see very often, just with these civilian women fighting to rebuild a life after the horrors they have experienced. So just beautifully written. Jessica Shattuck's incredibly talented. The Hazards of Good Breeding was a New York Times notable book. So if you like The Nightingale, Sarah's Key, The Light Between Oceans, this will just stir your soul. It's just an incredibly unique take on World War II. Such bravery and resilience. It's The Women in the Castle by Jessica Shattuck.
All right, I'm going to talk about a book that I never want to stop talking about. Truly one of my favorites that's coming out this winter, Miss You by Kate Eberlen. Vi can attest to the fact that I don't stop talking about it because I made her read it, and mutual love is going on here.
Love.
This is a debut novel. It's the story of these two people who meet as teenagers in Florence. And just kind of briefly, they meet in a church and they exchange a few sentences and then they part their ways. This book follows them over the next 16 years of their separate lives, following, you know, the ups and downs of their individual lives, but also tracking all the ways that they just barely miss each other. Well, their lives will intersect, but they just can't quite make that final connection. And you, as the reader, just know that they are soulmates. They are perfect together, but they just have to make that final meeting. And I won't spoil it for you. You'll have to read it to find out what happens, but it is so, so good. These characters are so real. Their struggles are so moving. I just loved it so much. It's great for fans of Jojo Moyes or Ellen Hildebrand, and it's also being compared to David Nichols' One Day. So a lot of great stuff surrounding this book. So, so good. Do you have anything to add?
So, so good. What she said, I loved it. Mandy Lou raved about it. I said, okay, I want to read it, and I couldn't put it down. I loved it. It's exactly what she said. I have nothing more to add to it because that was a perfect description. And I loved One Day, which was amazing. That was also a Library Reads pick. And it's very much in that vein. And yeah, not going to tell you what happens at the end, but boy, what a great page turner. Really great. Loved it.
Love. So, Miss You by Kate Eberlen. Please check it out.
Dang! I shall go next. The book that I'm going to talk about is the original Ginny Moon by Benjamin Ludwig. This is a Harlequin publication. This is a really wonderful book. It's about a 14-year-old autistic girl. As we all know, there's the spectrum. She is a highly functioning kid. She's got some quirks, but this is another book. You all know I love coming-of-age stories, so I love Hearts of Men, and I love the original Ginny Moon because you really feel for this kid. She's been adopted by this couple. She's 14, and she has found she calls it her forever home. They are her forever parents, and it's a place where she'll be safe and protected. But she is desperate to get kidnapped by her abusive, drug-addicted birth mother. And as you delve into the story, because you think, why would she want this when she has these wonderful people who have taken her in? But as you get into the story, you understand why she wants to get back to the mother. And it's not what you would think. It's not because she's got this connection with the mother so much. There's a bigger story. There's a secret. And you wonder what it is, but at the same time, she's giving enough clues that you think, somebody needs to listen to this kid. She's trying to tell them something, and I don't know, I just found it so compelling, and there were parts that were really funny, and there were parts that were heartbreaking. And my heart went out to the parents, too, because they then have their own child, and now they have to try and have Ginny understand how to care for an infant, or just be careful of this little infant. And so there's all these crazy family dynamics going on. I just loved it. I just want to tell you one thing. The author is an English teacher, a lifelong English teacher of writing, and he and his wife adopted an autistic girl, a teenager. And so he knows of what he writes. This is his first novel. Think Where'd You Go, Bernadette, or The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. It's great for book clubs. There's one quote here that I want to read to you. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but it's by the author of The Rosie Project, Graham Simsian. I'm sorry. He says the original Ginny Moon is a brilliant debut in asking us to identify with a developmentally delayed autistic teenage girl and her peculiar obsession. Ben Ludwig set himself on an Olympic degree of difficulty, but he succeeds with the extraordinary Ginny Moon. I was unable to put the book down. It's fantastic. You're going to love it.
All right, next we have The Book of Joan by Lidia Yuknavich. This is a really cool kind of dystopian sci-fi novel that is resoundingly pro-feminist, literary, just beautifully written, and it takes place in the near future where society is living in this space station just above Earth. Earth is uninhabitable, and everyone is sexless. There's no passion, there's no art, and it's overseen by this just overruling dictator, essentially, this personality cult. But there's one woman, Joan, inspired by Joan of Arc, who is set to be executed and inspires a rebellion within the space station. So it's really exciting and beautifully written, and again, it has all these really in-depth undertones. It's just beautiful and literary. Tons of praise. Roxane Gay, Cheryl Strayed, just so many people love this. I'm going to read Roxane Gay's quote. "A raucous celebration, a searing condemnation, and fiercely imaginative retelling of Joan of Arc's transcendent life." So it's just so cool and unique. You won't read anything like it, but it's sci-fi. So of course it's awesome at the same time. So that's The Book of Joan by Lidia Yuknavich.
All right, I will take that as my intro. My last book is Miss Tredway in the Field of Stars by Miranda Emmerson. This is also a debut novel set in 1960s London about this kind of disparate group of Londoners who band together to find a missing American actress. This diverse set of characters all have kind of secrets of their own, as they have to kind of confront them as they are searching for this missing actress. But it's not just a mystery. There's a whole kind of great blend of romance and historical fiction, and it touches on race and class and police brutality and immigration. So there are a lot of deeper issues here, in addition to the great plot twists. I think this will be great for fans of Kate Atkinson's kind of literary mysteries, and really with the heart of Major Pettigrew's Last Stand. So very, very fun. You're really kind of there in 1960s London. It was really cool. So yeah, give it a read. Miss Tredway in the Field of Stars.
I love that title.
I love the cover. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's neat. Lerv.
So there are holiday titles. It's not really anything to do with the holidays, but it is December. So we wish you a happy everything. Happy holidays, and here's to a wonderful 2017, hey?
Hey-o.
There you go, kids. I'll feed my llama.